Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Southside Mavericks Coaches Show. I am joined, as always, with head coach Jeff Williams. Coach, always good to be with you.
Good to see you, Don.
Coach, big week this week. Cabot comes to town. Coach, Mount Helms last year, crazy offense that you only have to prepare for once a year. It's homecoming, lots of distractions, a lot going on Friday night.
We did. Had a great crowd, had a great pep rally Friday with our homecoming, and of course, Cabot coming to town. It was a big game in circumstances where we were both 0-1 in the conference, and for playoff implications, it was a huge game. And they're always difficult to prepare for. They run the dead tee, and I got to give our scout guys a lot of credit. They gave us a good look all week, but it's hard to assimilate that during practice. But was a big victory for us, and really proud of the way our guys played.
Well, Coach, they win the toss. They kick off to us. They defer, kick off to us. We get the ball on the 20-yard line. Their kicker knocked it out of the back of the end zone, I think, every time Friday night. Get a quick start. Ricardo bounces to the right, breaks 3 tackles and goes 9 yards. Second play from scrimmage coach, 71-yard bomb to Jordan Jackson. Nice throw, but a great catch by Jordan.
Yeah, and it's like we talked about last week, is we got to be able to stretch the ball. We haven't been able to stretch the ball vertically like we did last year in times, and saw it on film, felt like, the safety would get there late. And Jordan, he's our deep ball guy, there's no doubt, and he's got great speed and made a great catch and worked on it all week in practice. And that's the way you want to start the game. You want to start fast, especially a team like that, so run-oriented, is having the lead is such a big deal. And that was great great protection, because we can't do without protection. We set it up, and it's been kind of set up all week long, and it was just a great play.
Connor knocks in the PAT, and we're up 7-0 after 2 plays. We kick off to Cabot. Nice coverage, very nice coverage. Struggled a little bit last week. Nice coverage. Had them at the 15-yard line.
Great coverage. Did a lot better in our coverage. Special teams played a little bit better. We still got some things, issues we got to get fixed, but we'll get those things fixed. But those things are the unsung hero. When the guys on a kickoff team can go down and pin them inside the 15 and make those guys snap it over and over and over.
Cabot starts again from their 15. They rush 7 times. Well, all they do is rush, so obviously they rush 7 times. They get to the 43-yard line. They get a quarterback keeper for 23 yards, and then we get them to 3rd and 3 after that, Coach, from the 26-yard line, and number 1 gets outside of us and just outruns us. They go 12 plays and 85 yards.
Well, and you kind of expect that going in, just to be honest with you. I mean, you never want to give up a touchdown, but you can watch the film on it, you can do it in practice, but until you get out there going against it, you got to get used to the speed of it. And so we kind of expected that's why we kind of wanted the ball first anyway, try to go score and, get our defense used to it and get them settled in to, this is how the fast it's going to go. But they came out and ran a tall sweep play, which I've been watching them for 24 years, and I've never seen them run. It was kind of a new wrinkle they had, and got it outside. We got pinned, they scored, but felt still pretty good. And our defense has got a good look at. They understand the speed of it, and so they understand that how fast it's going to hit in all the blocking schemes.
And we made them go 12 plays.
Yeah, and if you make somebody go 12 plays, they usually screw it up some way. And but that's consistent. That's Cabot football. But we're still feeling real good about it.
Tied 7-7, Coach. They kick again. It's going to be a touchback. Comes out to our 20-yard line. We start out with that big bugaboo we've been having. First play, illegal procedure, and we're behind the chains immediately.
Yeah, when you do that, it's hard to overcome it. And then, we're narrowed those down. We didn't have as many the other night, but it's like we have the last couple of weeks. But, only had one. But we got to be, that's just shooting yourself in the foot, and we can't start behind the sticks.
We're 1st and 15. Ricardo goes for 6. They sack Tay for 5 yards. It's 3rd down and 14. We complete a 5-yard pass to Colton, his first pass of the night. And then Adam Puckett rolls in the game on 4th down and 9, Coach, from our 21-yard line, and he kicks one that lands at their 30-yard line and rolls down to their 22. It was a 57-yard punt flipping the field.
And I thought was a big key. He kind of had a rough night against Conway and came back and got a big punch which changed the field position, knowing they're going to have to drive the ball and not, like we did against Conway, gave them a lot of short fields. Well, this week against Cabot, they had to drive it a long ways.
Coach, we've got them at their 22-yard line once again. They rush for 7 yards, 2 yards. 3rd down and 1, and Darren Davenport tackles them for a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, a big play. Tried to run the counter. Darren came underneath and tackled him in the backfield. And I thought defensively we played as well situational football. Talking about inside the goal line, 3rd and 1, those 4th and 1 and situations. It's probably the best we played defensively situational football all year.
Well, we forced them into 4th down, Coach. Big punt, huge punt. Jalen, I think, does a great job of going back on the ball, feels it over his shoulder, and just can't get around the corner, and he slips and falls, and they get us at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, we need to do a better job practicing. A great catch by Jalen, and we were in punt safe because they've ran so many fakes. It's 4th and 1. They want to keep the ball, and so we went punt safe, left our defense out there. And, so I told Jalen to catch it and just get up and get what you can get because, really we're not blocking anybody or anything. We're playing defense. But that saved us.
Well, we're starting in a hole a bit. We're at our 8-yard line. Ricardo right up the top, bruising run for 8 yards. And then a play that we've seen a lot this year, Ricardo on that wheel route out of the backfield for 28 yards. Really, really nice throw and really nice. He dropped it in a bucket.
He sure did. That was a great throw and great catch by Ricardo. And, people are having to defend 5 receivers now, and he's been one of our top receivers this year. And Tay put it right on the money, had good protection and, overcoming some things and getting us out of the hole.
We're out to our 44-yard line. First play, Tay scrambles, gets loose, and we have a drop pass over the middle, giving us a 1st down. Tay comes right back for 6 yards, broke 2 tackles, ran it up the gut a lot with Tay this week.
He did, and he was a bruiser. And I saw him on the film in the end zone camera. Copy is, he just ran over people, and he's a big, strong quarterback, running back, whatever you want to call him. But he's extremely strong and he's hard to tackle.
We're 3rd and 4, Coach. We get a 13-yard pass. A great sliding catch by Tyrese by the sideline.
Oh, yeah, Tyrese has really come on for us, and he made some big catches in some big moments in this game, and he's tough. He's not just 100% right now, but he's gritting it out, and he's a tough player, and just appreciate all his toughness and what he brings to the table.
Tyrese has got us down to the Cabot 37, Coach. Tay goes for 7, broke 2 tackles again. He goes for 2 again. We're at the end of the 1st quarter. We begin the 2nd quarter from the Cabot 28-yard line. It's 3rd and 1. Ricardo goes for 3. And then we have a 21-yard pass to Tyrese again down to the 4-yard line. Ricardo bulls in from 4 yards. Coach, we go 10 plays and 92 yards and no penalties.
And no mistakes. Yeah, no mistakes. Didn't have mental mistakes. And when you can do that, I think it's tough for any defense to stop us when we don't shoot ourselves in the foot and very consistent. I thought Coach Key did a great job of mixing up the run and the pass and kept them off balance.
Well, Coach, we're 14-7 now. We kick off. They return it at the 29-yard line. They run 7 plays, get a couple 1st downs. They punt from their own 40-yard line, and Jalen fair catches that punt at our 23-yard line. So we've given them 7 plays and got the ball back.
Yeah, and we're playing awesome. And you got to take advantage of that. We talked about getting up 2 scores and finishing things out. And, just felt like we left some points on the table on the field sometimes. But we're back our head. We need to get up 2 scores and put them in a bad situation.
Starting at our own 23, Coach, we get 7 yards on what I've been calling a little pitch option to Tyrese. We bring him off from the inside. And is that considered a forward pass?
Well, from the inside, it's kind of a fly sweep deal. And, if you pitch it in front of you, it's a forward pass.
Goes for 7. Tay for 2 yards. 3rd down and 1. Ricardo up the gut for 25 yards to the Cabot 43-yard line.
Yeah, if you watch the film, it's amazing because Ricardo has done a great job this year. It's called getting skinny. The hole's there. It's not a wide open hole, but getting skinny in the hole and boom and accelerating out of it. And that's just experience. Young guys struggle with that, but that's experience. And he has done a great job of getting skinny. All just a little crease for him, and he can get in there and go.
I will tell you this, Coach. Having watched, we have 2 sets of films, one from in the sky and one from the end zone. you're talking about that getting skinny stuff. If you watch that film from the end zone and you actually see the size of that hole that he squeezes through, it's incredible.
That is, and that's just being a good back and running with your eyes. I mean, that's the key of being a great running back. You know, everybody thinks about speed and power, and that's obviously helps, but you got to be great backs, run with their eyes.
We're at the 43, Coach. We scramble for 1. Tay goes for 5. 3rd down and 4, almost the same play. Ricardo up the gut again for 17 yards down to their 20-yard line.
Yeah, just running our read zone stuff, and you know, the offensive line is doing a good job. It takes an extra defender because now they got to defend the quarterback and the pitch, and you know, just go triple option football, but just doing it out of the shotgun, spreading the field out.
We're at the 20. A couple of plays later, we are 1st and goal from the 10-yard lines. What I call a little trickeration, we bring in what I call the jumbo package, and we've got Darren Davenport in the game. We're loaded to the left. Davenport slides out. Is that kind of a little wheel route that he takes into the end zone?
It's just a naked bootleg. You know, we've been shown with Tyrese and you know, just kind of slipping them both out in the flat. One's running a corner, the other's getting in the flat, and had it wide open. I think sometimes those got deals as a quarterback, the more wide open, sometimes it's more of a difficult throw than I think Tay just tried to, instead of throwing it, kind of put it up there a little bit and it threw it over him. And but you know, that's gives us, when we're getting that goal line set now, people got to defend the pass, you got to defend the option stuff, and you know, then power football. So you know, it's a good little package for us.
It's a great call. It's a great call. Connor comes in, knocks in a 22-yard field goal. Been nice to have the touchdown there, but we still got points out of that drive.
Yeah, and that was the key. You know, we were talking about going for it and things like that, but I knew that extra score was more important, and we got 3 points out of it, you know, and that's what's scary about playing those guys, but we got to do a better job of finishing. You know, finish the drive. We're getting touchdowns, not field goals, because you knew going into it, field goals weren't going to win it, touchdowns were, but we got to take the points when they come to us.
Well, after Connor's field goal, we're up 17-7. We kick off. They get a decent return out, 35 yards. They do what they do, Coach. They go 8 plays for 65 yards, and then they have a 30-yard TD run by the quarterback, who I thought made pretty good decisions throughout the night.
He did. We kind of got pinned, missed a tackle. The play, we missed a couple of tackles. We tackled really well the other night, but you know, that play really shows up, and you know, and that's another thing we've talked about it on this show. We've talked with the staff, talked with our kids. Is we got to do a better job of finishing half. Seems like every game we're giving up that drive or not, you know, offensively not finishing up and keeping that momentum. We got the momentum, but you know, we're going to be up 3 points, and we got to do a better job of the last 4 minutes of the half. I think it's just a big deal.
17-14, and we're getting ready to do what you're talking about. Touchback again, comes out the 20. First play from scrimmage, 11-yard pass to Tyrese. We rush for a couple. And then we have a nice pass, a 19-yard pass to Ricardo across the middle of the field to the Cabot 48. Immediately after that, a 16-yard pass to Jordan Jackson down the 34. Coach, when I'm watching that on the film from the end zone on that, you know that they're keying on Ricardo, and we kind of slid Ricardo out a little bit. It looked like they froze their linebacker. Maybe they were spying with this guy on that and left the middle of the field wide open and made a great throw and catch to Jordan.
Yeah, that's give credit to our staff. They put that play in on this past Sunday, and we knew that. We've always kind of hurt Cabot with our backs and matching them up with the linebackers, but when they start chasing them, they pull those guys out. There's a big hole in the middle, and great throw was sitting in there with Tag right on the money. Good catch by Jordan. I was really happy for Jordan. I thought, you know, probably had one of his better games he's had all year.
Well, we're in the 2-minute, Coach. We're under a minute. We're probably under 30 seconds. We're down at their 34-yard line. Immediately have an 11-yard pass to sophomore Connor Austin to get the ball down to the 23-yard line. We've got first down from there, and Coach, we have an interception. The safety comes over at the goal line, returns it back to the Southside 45-yard line. Time runs out.
Yeah, Connor comes in, you know, one of our sophomores, and that tells you about our team. I mean, guys that are coming in. I mean, you know, Tyrese kind of got banged up. He's fine, but you know, this guy, he's got to come in. It's a big moment in the game, and knowing what to do and paying attention. And he's going to be a really good player for us. And the last play, you know, Tay forced it a little bit, and you know, nobody wants to throw an interception, but you know, we wanted to get some points out of there. but we're still feeling pretty good about going in at half. I mean, we've moved the ball well, we've ran it well, we've tackled well, we've stopped them some, and have really adjusted to the dead team. So, going into halftime, there's not a lot of adjustments because there's not much else to do. Everything they're doing exactly what we thought they were, and so, it's just coming in and talk about execution.
Coach, it's 17-14 at the half. We had 303 total yards of offense, and I know you're not a stat guy, but 333 yards of total offense in a half. I don't care who you're playing, it's impressive.
Well, it was good. I mean, the guards are great, but the points are more important, and that's the kind of the feeling coming out. It's 17-14. I really feel like it should be 28-14 or 28-7, but we're missed opportunities, and they're going to get the ball, and you're not getting many possessions, but we missed some opportunities there, but we're up, we'll take it, and we go in at half.
I think our running game, like you said earlier, is really helping our passing game. Tay goes 9 for 12, Coach, in the first half for 188 yards, and we had 2 drops in there.
Yeah.
The bugaboo was still there. We still had 3 penalties for 15 yards. Coach, we never have holding calls, hardly. All of our calls are procedural calls.
Well, because we don't hold, Don. Coach Stewart makes sure that they practice well. No, our offensive line, they've played really well this year, and that's a concentration deal, and we don't get a lot of holding calls, and those guys do a good job of keeping their hands where they need to be, and our offensive line's played very well. Coach Stewart does one of the best line coaches in the state.
More mental
problems
than we have physical problems.
Yeah, that's a concentration thing. There's no doubt.
Well, Coach, we get to the halftime, and I just glanced down at my watch, and we played a half of football in under 45 minutes.
Yeah, it went by fast, especially the first quarter. I remember, but when you play Cabot, you're going to get home early.
It's true. I've never seen a half of football played under 45 minutes. It was pretty good. Folks, that's the first half. We'll come back and talk about the second half in just a moment. Welcome back, folks. We're here once again with Coach Jeff Williams. Coach, starting the second half, we're 17-14. Cabot had won the toss and deferred to the second half, so we're kicking off to them. They get the kickoff, return it to the 31-yard line. They rush for 5. We have an offsides penalty that gives them a first down. It's 1st and 10 from the Cabot 49-yard line. They're rushing the ball. Ball pops up like it was shot out of a cannon. Mason Gregory, I think, made the initial contact, and it was recovered by sophomore Eli Lyles at the Southside 40-yard line.
Yeah, Mason came in and hit him, put his helmet right on the ball, and that thing popped up. And we're getting a turnover. That's so big. It's on the short side of the field, and Cabot's been turning it over the last couple of weeks, and so we're up 17-14. So we can punch this deal in here. We're sitting in pretty good shape, and we got to play better complementary football. It seems like when we get a turnover, we're not scoring, and we've talked about that with our guys, and we got to take advantage of our opportunities.
Well, you say those last 2 minutes before the half, first 2 minutes after the half, important. Got to be a great way to start. We've got the ball, Coach, on our own 40-yard line. First play out of the deal, we drop a pass. Tay rushes for 9 up the gut. Ricardo for 6. Stop the line of scrimmage, Coach. He pushed that pile for 7 yards down to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, he's extremely strong, and I think when you're an offensive lineman, your running back's running that way, and everybody's grouped in there, and you're pushing the pile. Nothing makes an offensive lineman more happy.
Well, we are setting at the 33-yard line 3 plays later. We run a reverse from our side of the field to the far side to Jordan down to the 25-yard line. When I watched the film, obviously we knew that he was hurt. When we watched the film, it looked like he pulled up 2 or 3 steps before he finally went down. Looks like his left leg.
Yeah, it was. They were getting it checked out. He kind of pulled like a little hamstring, pulled the muscle a little bit. I think he's going to be fine. But he is a non-contact injury. Like he was trying to make a move, trying to get to the first down. You can kind of see those, and it's more of a hamstring.
Well, when he went down and we first saw it, Coach, and he was down for a few minutes, really, really pleased to see him get up and walk off the field. Had a little limp, but he was still getting off the field.
Jordan has really come. Had a great game this past week, and he's a guy. He's a key to us because he stretches the field and he can do some things, little reverses and do some things after a catch.
Well, Jordan gets us down. He has 8 yards on that, gets us down the 25-yard line. It's 2nd and 2 from the 25, and we have a penalty. We have 2 incomplete passes, and on 4th and 7, we go for it. It's too far out to punt.
Yeah, we were kind of no man's land there, just to be honest with you. It was kind of a little out of Connor's range there. Felt like, hey, we're moving the ball well, we're playing pretty good on defense. Let's try to get this thing and end it here pretty quick, and it didn't work out.
Well, we end up turning it over on downs. Cabot takes over on their own 30-yard line. They get a couple of first downs from the Southside 48. They rushed 39 yards, number 43 for them, TJ. Just did a great job. Rushed 39 yards down to the 9-yard. 1st and goal, 2 rushes for 5 yards. 3rd down and goal from the 4. Mason Gregory steps into the hole and stuffs the guy that was right in the middle of it.
Yeah, Mason's played well for us all year, and he's playing at a confident level, and they can't block that, them safeties, and he comes flying downhill. And really, the way our defense, I was really proud of him.
We give it over on downs, and they get down inside the 5. Coach, you got to feel good about it. We just give up a field goal. We're 17-17.
Yeah, we're doing great. And I think that was a key deal to the whole game. There's a couple of plays in there. It was, Jalen Coleman ahead of time ran him down to put him down there, and then we have the goal line stand, make them kick a field goal. Now that we're tied up, we're still in good shape. We just got to keep playing, but knowing, we're going to get about 2 more possessions, and we're really proud of the way our defense, situation football, goal line defense right there. And when you're holding people to field goals, and not touchdowns, you got a great chance of winning.
Coach, we're 17-17. Once again, they kick off. It's a touchback. We're starting from our own 20. We rush for 4. 2nd down and 6. Tay up the gut, keeper, for 50 yards down to their 26-yard line.
Kind of schemed that up a little bit on the sideline, and Tay made a great read, and Nathan Bogner got in front of him, kind of a lead blocker, and made them. They were running zone option and made them. They took the wrong guy. They messed up on their assignments, and Tay took advantage of it. It was a great run.
We're at their 26, Coach. 3 rushes for 8 yards. We're 4th down and 2 from their 18-yard line. Had a hard time stopping Tay all night. Had a hard time stopping Ricardo all night. We had run the little play with Tyrese across the deal, and I thought it was a gutsy call. Coach, you ran a great play call to Ricardo on a delay into the left flat, and there was great blocking downfield, and we go 18 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, it's a play we put in this past week and saw it on film, and we wanted to run it at a certain point on the field and a certain hash, and it was a gutsy call, but it's something they hadn't seen. And when you get in the red zone, you got to have a couple of wrinkles in there, something they hadn't seen, and felt pretty good about the call. Ricardo, we got down the field and blocked, but he made one guy miss or ran over him basically, and they get, we're sprinting out to one side, so everybody's going on that side, and we throw it back across and touchdown, and we're just taking a lead. Great drive.
It was a great drive. It was a great drive, Coach. Coach, we're up 24-14. It's late in the 3rd quarter. We kick off to those guys. They take over the 20-yard line, and they go 3 and out, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter. We're 24-14.
Yeah, we're for good shape, and, we just scored, and now we're complimentary football. We're playing great on defense. We get a 3 and out. Let's go finish this thing off.
Well, the 4th quarter starts, and momentum goes the other way again. We've got them 4th down. They punt to us, fumbled the punt, and they recovered our 39-yard line.
Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking we're trying to figure out every way we can to lose this game at that point in time. And, Jalen's done a good job returning punts all year and, just dropped the football. And they recovered it. But, our team's showing grit. Hey, that's adversity. Those things are going to happen. And we got to go back out there and play defense again after, scoring and then getting a 3 and out. And you feel like momentum's starting to go to Cabot's way a little bit, and we got to get it back.
Well, they start on our 39-yard line. The bad news is that they score. The good news is we made them take 10 plays to do it.
Yeah, and then just like I was talking to Coach Key and the offensive staff, after they scored, saying, this next possession is probably our last possession. Let's mix it up. We've got to go score with it, and because they get it back, we if we don't move the ball and go score, we might not get the ball back, and so we knew this was coming up was a huge possession.
we're 11 plays into the fourth quarter and we're tied at 24. You feel like that you've outplayed them a little bit. We've shot ourselves in the foot a little bit. We've made a couple of mistakes that really cost us.
Yeah, and you feel like we've left a bunch of points out there, that we could have scored on, and when you start getting in the fourth quarter, it's tied up, and you start thinking about those things. Those little things that come back and bite you.
Well, they kick off to us. We're tied at 24, Coach. Probably about 8 minutes left in the game. We turn the ball back to the 25-yard line. We start out with an 8-yard pass to Colton on a nice shoestring catch.
Yeah, made a great catch. Ran a little out route there. We had one-on-one, and great catch by Colton. And he's been a big part of our offense, and he's been a pleasant addition.
Have an incomplete pass right after that. Tay goes for 9 once again up the middle. 3rd and 1. Tay takes it for 7. We're at the Cabot 48-yard line. Tay again, a workhorse for us running the ball, goes for 11. It's 3rd down and 8, Coach, from the Cabot 24-yard line. And we throw a 15-yard pass to Tyrese. A beautiful sliding catch at the 9-yard line.
Big play. I mean, that's Tyrese. Tyrese always shows up in big games and makes big plays and in a big time moment. And that was almost a game winner right there. And it was a great throw by Tay. We're talking a little bit. They're playing cover 2, ran a hammer route, and they've thrown that route hundreds of thousands of times, and you could tell great protection, dropped it right in there, great diving catch by Tyrese.
So we're 1st and goal from the 9-yard line, Coach. We run a couple of plays, get down to the 1 yard. It's 3rd down and goal from the 1-yard line. We go up the line to the line of scrimmage, and we take a late timeout there. Come back to the sideline. Did you see something?
Well, they came out, called timeout, and they had a goal line package, and we were going to show something that we hadn't, what they've seen, some wing stuff, and one just to make sure, hey, where they're lined up, what's called a timeout. Let's make sure everybody's coached and knows whoever they're going, and we kind of wanted to get a look. We had 3 timeouts. It's at the end of the game. You can't take them home with you, so we went ahead and called it and to see what they were doing, and felt like the play call we made was executed well.
It was executed well, Coach. We're 3rd and goal from the 1. We run that little toss pass to Tyrese coming off the edge. Tyrese goes in for the touchdown. Coach, we go 17 plays for 75 yards. Exactly what you need to do when they tie the game up.
Great job, Coach Key and our staff, mixing it up, throwing it here, running Tay. They were getting tired. We were running the ball pretty consistently on them. Let's don't give them the ball back. And so felt like it was just a great drive. But then really proud of our guys because, that could go either way. Drop a punt, they score tied up and have to deal with adversity. But, we got a veteran group, and they've been through that before and been through it with Cabot before also. And just great leadership by our seniors on our offensive team.
Well, you score, you feel pretty good about it, then we miss the extra point.
Yeah.
And we've got about a minute and a half left in the game. They're getting the ball back, Coach. And we're up 31-24. A score and an extra point loses the game for us.
And I can't explain it. Connor's done a great job for us, and he just missed it. And I'm thinking, man, we were making this so hard, and as a coach. But our guys, they're going to go out and play. And the scary part, you're kicking off to them. They run the dead tee. You practice that all week. It's short runs. Well, now they're in position. They got to throw it, and do you start pulling people back, or do you, it's kind of a chess match because, like I said before we got on the show, I've seen them run a dive when everybody backs up in that situation and go score and win games. And so it's kind of, what are they going to do and what are we going to do deal. And so, we kind of, I've seen them play a bunch, and they came out in 2 tight set with 2 receivers, and they've shown very little this year, but we were prepared for it, and but that moment, that minute 26 was a long time.
While they run that dead tee, Coach, when they put the 2 guys out, do you leave a safety kind of over there just in case, or we played them?
Yeah, we played some zone out. It was just not to get beat deep, but we played the other safety, and because he's got to watch the tight end, but kept him kind of pretty much in the box, but trying to get 3 over 2 basically.
Well, it's difficult to stop those guys when you have 9 in the box. If they can get you to take 3 of those guys out, Coach, like you were saying, we've seen those guys in the past go up the gut when you don't have the numbers on
Yeah.
and go for big chunks.
And Coach Cox and the defense staff did a really good job. And unsung hero in this whole deal, though, that's kind of funny because you don't ever know what's going to happen, is D.D. Smith. D.D. Smith, because due to what they run on offense, he wasn't going to get, because he's a corner, he wasn't going to get to play a lot this week, and didn't get to play until right there at the very end, and comes in and does a great job of covering. And little unsung heroes, things that don't get unnoticed. He was prepared for the moment, goes in, might have been 3 plays, but helps us win a football game.
They're starting at their 20 coach. We know they're going to have to throw the ball some. It's 4th and 8. We get them to 4th and 8 from their own 22-yard line. They do exactly what we talked about just a minute ago. They run one up the gut when you got 3 guys on the left. Go 15 yards for a first down to the 37-yard line. They've still got about 40 seconds left in the game. It only takes one catch or one guy getting through the gut. When you've got everybody pulled up and they score. They throw a pass beautifully played by Jalen Coleman, who tipped that ball away about 22 yards down the field.
Yeah, and Jalen's been solid for us, and I thought he was going to pick it off as open soul, but he made a great play on the ball.
Well, they're a little like us. They have 2 penalties right after that. You can tell they're not used to getting into passing blocking because they have some problems there. 3rd down and 20, they rushed for 14 yards, and on 4th down and 6, pass down the left sideline, knocked down by Bennett Windale. Mavs take over on downs and run the clock out.
Yeah, Bennett came over the top, made a great play, and very proud of the way we finished. I mean, we finished the game on a long drive on offense and then stopped them there on defense, and we got to continue to do that. But it's a big win for us.
Was 30-24 the final score. Coach, again, I know you're not a stat guy, but some of these were pretty healthy. 500 yards of offense for us, 234 passing and 265 rushing. You got to be pleased with the balance of that.
Pretty pleased with it. Obviously, I mean, that's the outstanding. I thought our plan was great offensively and defensively this past week, and when you can rush for 234 yards and throw for 264, vice versa, that means you're pretty balanced. And I thought Coach Key did a great job mixing up the run and pass, and really proud of the way our guys played. I thought we had a lot of effort, but really focused this past week. Knew it was a must-win game for us, and but it's this league's very, very tough, and you got to win your home games.
Coach Taya has, I think, what might be the best night I've seen him have since he's been at Southside. He goes 13 for 22 for 234 yards. Rush is 19 times for 142, 376 yards of offense for Tay.
Yeah, unbelievable. What an effort by Tay, and our offensive line played. I thought that probably played one of their best games they've played all year. And Tay's just been amazing. And he's going to we'll be sitting here next year and he'll be gone. And he's a guy that's going to go stat wise through Southside history. He's going to leave a print and mark on it for the rest of his life.
Thought we did a great job in the play calling coach with Ricardo. Ricardo had 18 rushes for 105 yards, but he had 3 really big catches for 65 yards.
He's kind of been our explosive guy. I mean, Tay's pretty steady and everything, and then Ricardo's kind of been our big play guy all year. And he's an all-around back. Does a great job in protection, catches the ball, and runs it well.
Jordan Jackson had a couple catches for 85 yards. Tyrese, 5 catches. A couple of those incredible catches go for 60 yards. Defensively, had some really. The Chafee kid had a great game. Davenport.
Yeah, I thought our defensive line, that's the best they've probably played in 2 years. They did exactly what we asked them to do, and Landon Chafee is a sophomore, and he's not a sophomore anymore. You can just tell it. And Eli Lyles, and then Davenport had a good game. Bennett Windale, Jalen Coleman, all those guys did a great job, and really proud of the way. You can see our defense getting better.
Well, Coach, that big win earns you the right to travel to North Little Rock, Arkansas, and play the North Little Rock Charging Wildcats, the 5-0 Charging Wildcats. Coach, their non-conference season had nobody from Arkansas. They played Tulsa, Washington, Evangel Christian from Louisiana, and Memphis Whitehaven. You know anything about that?
Well, yeah, obviously Booker T out of Tulsa has got phenomenal athletes. They played them up at Bentonville in week 0, and then Evangel Christian is out of Shreveport, and they've put out a lot of big-time players, and it's a private school. They're a little bit smaller school, but they've always got a great program. and then the team out of Memphis is a very, very Whitehaven is a very athletic team, and I think he kind of did that on purpose to go out and he probably has a hard time getting games as good as they are, and kind of went on the road doing some different things, but they're ranked number 1 in the state for the reason they're defending state champions. They're very, very fast and physical. Coach Mitchell's come in, done a great job with that program, turned around. They've got a lot of juice. They just won the state championship last year, and they've been so close in the past, and they are a very physical team. But just like everybody else in our country, they're really, really good. They're very well coached, and we got to go on the road, and it'll be a great challenge. And I know our kids are looking forward to it.
Coach, how are we doing on injuries coming out of the game?
Well, George's a little banged up, but everybody else is really healthy. He's got a little hamstring, and it'll be day to day with him. But we've been fortunate to be healthy, and we just got to get a good plan together and go out and have a great week of practice and get ready for North Little Rock.
Coach, it's always good to be with you. It's especially good to be with you after we win. Look forward to seeing you next week after the game in North Little Rock. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Don.
Folks, be sure and join us next week at the Southside Mavericks Coaches Show with head coach Jeff Williams. We'll see you then.